I've clicked.
You've clicked.
I've clicked. Finally. Better than snapping, I guess. Oh, I like a mailbox episode. I really like. I know that I think this is our 4th mailbox episode, and I do enjoy, like going through and seeing some of the comments and like just reminding myself of some of our episodes. Like, don't get me wrong. You know, we have some misses, but the hits are really good. Like,
I think also we need to celebrate individuals who reach a status of, legendary fan or legendary or, craziness. Where there are maybe we should rip off Davo and do their own sound effect, like a little cheer. And you can just edit that in when you want to, Chris. Or you can have a button next to you and just cheer people you like.
I tell you what, if I get to the point where I can have a button so it does it automatically, we'll do that. But if it involves more editing, then I'm, at heart, I'm a lazy man. You've had my editing enthusiasm for the brief amount of fouling with Feeksy editing from last week's episode, which I have to say I was really pleased of the combination of the graphic and the music in the background.
I thought the music was phenomenal.
I thought it was very good. I was pleased with that.
I believe it's been like 8 months since we've done one of these as well.
What, since we've done a mailbox?
Yeah.
It's been a lot of episodes, but we did have our week of episodes in the middle.
Yeah, I can't, because I went back on YouTube, and as far as I could see, the last one we did was in December.
Oh, I don't know. The last one was just before Dave Rue came on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was December time, yeah.
Well, let's dive in then. Shall we dive in?
Tom, you would have on that team we talked about, so it would be 1/150. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you would get 6 skills.
Scott's just changing subjects to talking about a team roster that wasn't that hasn't been on the recording so far. So just to confuse anyone, just in case anyone was keeping track.
That's all right. That's okay. Cool. Well, I've got to decide at some point when's it got to be. When you got to get your
team plays open now
for Andy Davo. Okay, I will have a look. Cool.
Come on, Tom. You can do it. In Tom, we believe.
Yeah. In Orcs, we believe. Maybe. One day.
Yeah, spoiler alert. No shit. Thanks.
I'm going to dig you two out of a hole. Play the intro. Hello, everyone. Welcome to New Dice Please, the Bite-Sized Blood Bowl podcast, brought to you by the people at Blood Bowl Live. My name is Chris. Joining me, as always, Mr. Scott Bryant. Scott, what is your favourite animated Disney film?
Good evening, Christopher. Good evening, Tom. Good evening, chat. My favourite animated Disney film, Jesus, is Pixar allowed?
Oh, I'm gonna have to say no. I think because that could be that's a whole different question that I can ask next time.
In terms of my favorite animated Disney film, I think Jungle Book, but I don't mean the live action remake. I mean the original.
Okay, I'm aboard with that. With that. Joining us also, Mrs. Tom Hovell. Tom, favorite animated Disney film?
Zootropolis.
Oh,
that's DreamWorks, though. It's not Disney.
No, that's Disney.
That's Disney.
Absolutely Disney.
Okay. Bollocks. I know what next week's going to be before Feeksy turns up, and chat, you can preempt what you think Feeksy's answer is going to be. Who's your favourite Disney princess?
Should we do that next week? Okay, we'll do that next week.
But don't tell Feeksy. Yeah, see, and you can ask him first, Chris, just to throw it in there as a curveball, and then that'll be the instant reaction, won't it?
I'm going to go for. I do really enjoy Moana, but I also really enjoy Frozen 2.
Why Frozen 2, Chris?
Why Frozen 2? Because Frozen 2 has an incredible kind of mismatch 80s 90s power ballad in the middle of it, which is what which I was sat in. I was sat in the cinema watching it, and they did this power ballad, and it's really impressive because the the voice actor, it's full of harmonies. It's got something like 17, 18 harmonies in it, and he does every single one of them. And it's a really, really impressive song. It's just him and a reindeer multiple times on the screen. And there's like references to various music videos and all this stuff. It's incredible. So yeah, I'm gonna go Frozen 2, but it's
So
close with Moana.
Okay, so when you went to the cinema, were you on your own? And
No, I was with Emily.
So Mrs. Coe was there. That's good to know.
Yeah.
And was Mrs. Coe the instigator, or was she the
I
supporter?
think we were both equally keen to go. But after
Okay.
that song, the cinema was deadly quiet, and I think I did just go, "Oh yeah, yeah, that was good."
Mic drop.
I think I could have stood up and applauded then. I think I could have. Well, anyway, we're not here to talk about Disney films. No, we are not. No, we're here, as said in the intro. It is time to go through and look at some of the comments and emails that we've got from our lovely listeners. And I start off, as I do with every mailbox episode, with a big thank you for everyone who puts a comment on Spotify or on YouTube or sends us an email. We do genuinely love to see them. We get some really interesting takes and opinions from people in the comments, and it is really great. We are so pleased that so many people are so engaged. So keep sending them in. We do absolutely love it. But we're going to fly through because we've got various comments. We're not. I haven't got every single YouTube comment. I haven't got every single Spotify comment, but we've got a selection of them, and then we've got a selection of emails as well that we're going to go through. So, firstly, from YouTube and Spotify, we will start with the game mode swap shop, if anybody remembers that episode, episode 53, many weeks ago. We were talking about Dungeon Bowl in this particular one, and Justin made a comment on the Dungeon Bowl teleporter. When with the teleporter in Dungeon Bowl, you are automatically casualtied if you move more than one player in any turn. So while the chain teleports happen, they don't trigger too many players. So Tom, I think we were playing it wrong because I think we were just going, send them on their way, and kept sending them around until they went on their own teleporter. So which I think is more fun.
Exactly. Come on. It was much more random. It's a shame because I'd really like to play another game of Dungeon Bowl. I found that really, really good fun. It's just interesting that you can no longer get it on the Games Workshop website.
Interesting.
Let's leave that there.
Let's let that fester. We then moved on to our series of special Cake or Death episodes. We had 5 episodes in a row talking about our trip to Yeovil for Cake or Death. A very good time that we had. Alistair, friend of the show and Hot Takes guest, commented, this series was a lot of fun. You should do more of these more often, but get Tom Feeks on the phone so we can hear his jealous sobs stuck at home with his kids. Thanks for that, Alistair. I'm so glad that Feeks isn't here for that comment. Because he's at home with his kids. But we do want to do more, actually, and we are thinking about various other ones. We have got the Blood Bowl Open, Andy Davis Blood Bowl Open coming up, which I'm sure there will be a road trip for. So we'll hopefully get some more for that. And we are planning other ones. But I guess this is a good opportunity. If you've got a tournament that you want us to come along and we're
not some sort of celebrity A-listers.
No, but if someone wants us to do an episode on their tournament, we'll do it.
Yeah, we'll always call out a tournament if there's something you're doing out there.
Call out a tournament.
And then we can decide if we like to go or not.
If we're allowed to go.
Yes, we'll run it past the board of directors and see what they say. But thanks, Alistair. I'm glad you enjoyed that week of episodes. It was a bit different, but we had a great time chatting about service stations in the car. And speaking of Alistair, the next episode was Alistair's Hot Takes, where we had a number of people got in touch about some of Alistair's takes, which were really, really nice. Some of them. We had Pat Van Der East got in touch saying this was lovely. I so much appreciate people who know how to be competitive and then choose that they'd rather be affirming, which I think is such a great message for the game in general. It's something that sometimes, I'll be honest, I need to remember when playing. And that is true. Like, of anyone that you play, you kind of remember the people who are equal parts encouraging and playing for the fun as you do the ones who are really competitive and really good at the game. We also had comments. I love the cheer and jeers contest. That was a particular highlight. John Marshall got in touch and said, "Love the idea of a Chaos Renegade / OWA style Elven Union team. So an elf team that is actually a mismatch." That was one of my favorite things to come out of Alice's episode. Actually, a mismatch elf team and kind of what that would look like. And Goblin Scott. Now, this is something that I want us to take Goblin Scott up on. If you want to play a Blood Bowl manager game, there is a board game, Blood Bowl Team Manager. Happy to bring it down to the shop at some point. So Scott has a Blood Bowl Team Manager game. I think we should give it a go.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Moving on to Blood Bowl monogamy or Blood Bowl polygamy. Pat got in touch again, saying, if I play a lot of the same people or people I don't know at all, such as online without Discord, I tire of any given team fairly quickly. If I can play over the table against a variety of people, I tend to be pretty happy playing a team with at a good length. Even so, about 2 seasons of a healthy league is where I need a break, but I'll probably always return to my Dark Elves. I think this is kind of where I sit, because I've not normally done more than 2 seasons in a row with my Lizards before I then change it up and then I come back to them. Do you guys feel like there's a team that you could always come back to like that?
Go for it.
I do. So I have too. I think I could always go back to Skaven and Woodies. They'd be my equivalent. I'm obviously doing Dells this year. I've already got my team lined up for next season. So I think the Dells, I'm going to go away, but I'm going to park them for the moment. I will need to come back. I will come back to them another layer, another level, another day. It's been a long week already. So it's bloody Monday recording this. So I've already got my season 10. Ready to go. Just got to finish getting them painted up, and then we're good to go. So.
Tom, what about you?
I think it depends on whether it's a tournament or a league. Because tournament, you do kind of want to have that comfort of not having to try and learn the skills and the setup and how to play that team fresh straight out of the bat in a tournament when you've only really got 3 games possibly. But in league, I'm probably a little bit more open to kind of experimenting with new different teams because, okay, I know I might not get it right the first time, but then at least I'm learning them over a long period.
You are the one that I kind of thought Scott would say coming back to his Wood Elves or his Skaven, but I've never kind of seen you default back to a team. So I kind of that's kind of what I thought. Episode 66, we talked about balls, and Justin came in for clarity because I know that Feeks kept thinking my ball reminded of something, and Justin said clearly it was a Yoshi egg. So Feeks, it was a Yoshi egg. That's what we were talking. That's basically what I was talking about. Episode 67, we did League Friendly Stomp, and we were all about the stunties, goblins, gnomes, and halflings. We had a few people give us their suggestions. Stephen Hopkins got in touch saying, I think gnomes came from the very old forest folk team. He would put goblins for the league, gnomes for a tournament, and he would stomp on halflings. And Pat Van Der Rees got in touch again saying that he would have league for goblins. I like a decent amount of movement. They aren't too squishy and the weapons are a good bonus. Friendly for the gnomes. They are a gimmick team and they'll be fun for long enough. And stomp on the halflings. Loves them in RPGs. Doesn't see it in Blood Bowl. I have to say, I kind of agree. I think, I can't remember now. Did I go for gnomes as my league team or did I go for goblins? I think I went for gnomes.
I believe you did go for gnomes, didn't you? And you went goblins for your tournament.
Lots of people stomping on halflings, though.
That's an interesting one.
I think they're just a bit boring.
Who? I'm assuming he's joining the podcast. Otherwise, he
is. I mean, it's perfect timing. Hello, Mr. Feeks. Don't say anything just yet while I facilitate you appearing on the podcast. But if we just all count to nothing because There he is. Hello, Tom.
Hello.
You've just missed us going through all the YouTube and Spotify comments, I'm afraid.
Oh, that's annoying.
But you're here just in time because we've gone through all those comments. Now we're going to go through the lovely email mailbox, courtesy of Mr. Tom Hovell. Before we do, Tom, what is your favorite? What is your favorite Disney film? Animated Disney film?
Oh, favorite animated Disney film. Scott, I'm feeling the pressure now because I haven't had any forewarning, so now I see what you going for.
I tell you what, I'm now remembering one that I missed out, and that was also a tight contender, and I think I might want to change my answer. But go ahead.
I've got a soft spot for Brave.
No, that's Pixar. We
Oh, is
already
it
said we're not
Pixar?
allowing Pixar.
Yeah, no
Oh.
Pixar's allowed. Sorry.
No.
All right, Aladdin then.
Oh, not what I thought you would say, but okay, good.
What did you think he would say?
I now know why you've picked Aladdin, and we'll talk about it. And I'm not. Yeah,
What
we're
does
not
it
gonna,
remember?
yeah, no, we're not going to go into that. Anyway,
Which Disney character would you bone?
the email right. Tom Hovell, the mailbox.
Yes, save us
yeah.
now.
Save us.
Yeah. Segue. Yeah. So we've had some great kind of emails come in. So thank you to everyone who's done it. I've got some particular really interesting ones from a number of people. So the first one to start off with was basically from Bergie, who's been sent emails in before, and it was in regards to the Star Wars episode that we talked about, setting up a team with Star Wars players in it, if you remember way back in the day.
That was way back.
Yeah, but he came up with a star player of Grogu. So movement 5, strength 1, edge 2, passing 3, AV 7, skills dauntless, dodge, stunty, jump up, sidestep, and leap. And the special skill is, but he's so cute. So basically, once per half, if the opposing coach declares a block, not a blitz, against our star player, this skill can be used. Rather than being blocked, Grogu charms his would-be assailant and is instantly picked up and placed in a square of his choosing in the tackle zone of the player attempting to block. Basically, it's Trickster without the block, basically.
Okay.
So what do we think?
Okay.
Did they put a costing on it?
No costing and no way of getting that skill to activate. I think
What
it's
strength was he?
strength 1.
Okay, that seems fair. Okay.
I like it.
Yeah, I quite like it.
Okay.
I think that trickster trait has more potential in the right kind of setting. I think it was in one of the latest FAQs that talked about how Trickster works with Maple when you're blocking from distance as well and things like that. I think there's more potential, particularly within star players, for Trickster to maybe be a thing.
Okay, cool. Okay, I've got another email in from Joshua Matthews. So thanks, Joshua.
Oh, hey, Josh.
Hey.
We went to school with Josh.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a question to us all, and I think it's dear to Scott's heart, I think. So he says, fonts are extremely important. So the actual title is Comic Sans Team. So he says, fonts are extremely important to consider for the branding of your team, though. So I was wondering what kind of team deserves to have their name spelt out in Comic Sans.
Ooh.
Any other team branding tips are welcome too.
There is one gentleman who played in our league in season 6, and this is Harry. And Harry played Chaos Chosen.
Oh, the kid gloves.
Kids gloves, and it was all like he had little baby Minotaur models and little baby corn models as well with lollipops and things. And his logo was as Comic Sans.
Fantastic.
We are a broad church, though. While some people might have a healthy hatred, shall we say, for Comic Sans based on previous bad experience in the 90s, if you want to use Comic Sans, you can write to us or make your team in any Comic Sans that you feel free to. By the way, You could actually go mad and go and make your logo in wingdings if you really wanted to be stupid. But there you go, another conversation.
I think I would make a Comic Sans. I would make a team branded with Comic Sans, and I would pick Old World Alliance, and I would make all of the, because I feel Old World Alliance feel like the team that is closest to a village fate, like the mismatch of players who are none are quite as good, and it comes to the end of the village fate and they have the egg and spoon race and most of them fall over because they're deep down rubbish, and the poster is in Comic Sans. Old World Alliance feel like the Comic Sans team.
Fair enough.
That kind of makes sense. The only one I was thinking gnomes, because if you did them in a certain color scheme and made them really cartoony, it could work. Or there's been a lot of chat in my Blood Bowl League recently of getting just the Transylvanian Chibi team, which is going to be. I think there's a Kickstarter coming out, which are tiny little vampires.
Oh.
I'll put a thing in the chat.
Very good. Very
You put your thing in your chat in the chat as much as you like, Mr. P.
Oh, I already do.
What about though? Because Josh also mentioned about branding tips for your team. Because I get fully committed in my team's branding and everything like that. I have several logos. I pick a font. I do all of the swag around it. I get fully sucked into that, maybe more than I do the actual playing the Blood Bowl. So, like, is there anything that is there a bare minimum that you would do for your team? Like, if you create a team and you're going to take it to a league, is there a bare minimum that you want to make sure you've got for yours? Because for me, a bare minimum is I want my branded dice, I want my end zone, I want a few variations on the logo, I want a font, I want a hashtag for the socials, because you've got to have your hashtag. Hashtag ducks fly together. You got to have it. So, like, that's my bare minimum.
You want your jersey. You want your
need my jersey. Need my jersey.
Yeah. You're saying that I want you to now get one for every team.
And I can do that now because I sold most of my teams, so it's now much more affordable.
Yes, your Amazons are lovely, by the way.
You're welcome.
I think basically all you need is 3 colors and a variety of loom bands. That's all you need.
That is evil.
That was just no. Do you know what really upset me, Feeksy? Wasn't that I knew that as soon as he said loom bands, I knew it was directed. But I thought, no, I'm not gonna. It just feels pitiful now that he needs to say it. I thought Tom was above that now. He's won a couple of games this season. I thought, no, Tom's a better man.
Well, he's got the confidence now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Let's move on very quickly then.
Well, Scott, you put a lot of effort into your teams. Like, you've got your child catcher rats with the little top hats. Like, I'm just like you put a lot of effort into them. The Cherry Blossoms are one of the most beautiful teams that I have ever seen, and they won Best Painted at the Ipswich Classic.
They did.
So, what is your minimum?
My minimum, I like having a good. I start with the race and the attributes and what they can bring. What I enjoy about, whether they're edge, whether they're a bit bashier. I will then pick my color scheme. And then based on the color scheme, then I'll look at either a name or something else as well. I will always get an end zone, because in our league we have end zones, which obviously raise money for our local charities when they get printed as well. And then after that, the dice maybe if I can be bothered, but that's an ad hoc thing. But no shirts, nothing beyond that. No hashtags, no.
I'm letting the side down. As long as I've got a good theme and some pun names, I'm generally happy.
I'll
always use the bag and some grey shade.
But if you can come up with a good name, it's worth making. Like, I thought I came up with a good name for season 7 rats. So season 6 rats, which was the Gentleman's Collective, Spank Me Hardy. But that was you like that, Feeksy, don't you? But anyway, they evolve with the top hats and all that sort of good stuff to what Chris affectionately calls the child catchers. But yes, you've got the best 2 I've ever heard, though. As I've said, let's talk about reptile dysfunction. That's also a real good one. That was a Lizardman team, unsurprisingly, and the one I saw the other day on BB3, which was a necromantic horror team, and it was called Like and Subscribe. Right, so if you can think up of a good name, it's worth building a team purely for the good name.
Yeah, you got to get the pun in.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. So we've got a few actual emails from overseas as well. So we've got some international. So we've
all the
got
way from Wales. Lovely.
further, keep going further west. So we've got a couple from some people over in the States. So thank you and hello over there. One of them really caught my eye, which I thought was really good, by David Brennan.
Well, you haven't been asking for those dubious pictures for your own specialist magazine again, Tom.
No.
He's trying to get around the age verification by just emailing people directly and asking for
Yeah.
pics.
Exactly. You know. Well,
His VPN stopped working.
this is about balls, but at the end of the day. So this was a really interesting one. So it was in regards to different league rules and different things that people have done on leagues and things like that. And this one caught my eye because it was a really interesting one, because it kind of matches up with another episode we talked about, which was about the special balls you can have and different teams and whatever. And in their league, they've actually got a special ball inducement, which is inducing balls for 40k. So you can use 40k, you roll 2 times and select 1 ball from the list. And I thought that was quite a little nice inducement there, because you don't really get much for anything below 50k, and you're always left with a few kind of 30 or 40 or whatever in it. And they're all the balls that you can use both from the standard rule set, but also there's a few from the pitches and the special team ones in there as well. Would you do that in your league?
I like it because it's why I use the mascot so much, because it's 30k, so it's quite a good go-to inducement when you've not got a lot. But also I feel like the balls are so kind of odd and a bit Marmite, and some are really good, some are a bit rubbish. I think having the option to have it as an inducement and be like, for this drive, I'm going to play my custom ball inducement. I think that's a much better way to do it, because some of them can be such a drain over 16 turns. Whereas if you're just like, right, it's my drive, I'm going to cause some chaos, or this ball really suits me. And especially if you can be like, maybe like the squig ball that can jump out of your hands. If you're like, great, it's my opponent's drive, I'm going to choose that we're going to play the squig ball. And then your opponent has to try and pick up the ball and it bounces out of their hands. That can become quite valuable. And I think it's a better way to integrate it into the game.
Cool. No, absolutely. And we've got another one from America. So we have got, let me get the things, one with probably the best title that we've had. So the winner of best email title, which is Recently Enlightened Polygamist. So, this was obviously in regards to whether you stick with one team or play a series of them. So hello to Dan Hawkins.
Evening, Dan.
In Chicago. So shout out to you. And where you play is Dice Dojo, which sounds like a fantastic place to go and play a few games. And I hope you're enjoying your league at the moment. It does sound like there's a lot going on. But your main thing was saying that you've been playing Blood Bowl for only the past 3 years. And a good portion of that time, I've been dedicated to a single girl, Dark Elves. I took her to leagues, tournaments, played sevens, and even a strictly all Dark Elf Shadow team in Dungeon Bowl. Recently, I've been enlightened to the pleasures of a variety of partnerships. I've played vampires and now Nurgle. I simply won't play dwarfs of any variety, but I could see myself playing Chaos Chosen or the Elven Union. So please, it's kind of hoped you've played a few more than it. And I think we've already said on the previous episodes that, we've got our favourites and we would always go back to them. In fact, Chris, you were mentioning it just a few moments ago. But yes, I thought that was a nice little interesting kind of comment made on that side of things.
I think what's really interesting there is the teams he's jumped to. Nurgle is very different to all the other ones because like Elven Union is like it's similar to it's got the agile of the Dark Elves, and vampires are very edge. And then jumping to Nurgle, that is that feels like a shock to the system.
Yeah, I'd be really curious to see the reason for the jump. However, someone after my own heart doesn't want to play dwarves for any reason. I feel like a trip to America is coming along.
Would you say any dwarf teams, or would you include chaos dwarfs in that?
Yeah, I'm more likely to play chorfs than I am dwarfs, but they're probably the bottom two of my list.
I think I'm the same. I think strength 4, movement 6, sprint, even on edge 4, like those oh god, I've forgotten that. I can't think of the name.
Bull centaurs.
Bull centaurs, yeah. They look like you can have some fun, but otherwise I think I'm the same.
Yeah, what I'd be really interested if you are listening into this one, do you think it's made you a better player by doing the different ones, and why the jump to Nurgle? Because I would be really curious to realise why, because it's a huge jump.
Is it maybe it's aesthetics? If they like the sculpts, that's another good reason to pick a team. If you like the look of it, we always talk about that. And something actually, when I was in store this week playing a game, or last week, sorry, playing a game, and there's some people coming in and youngsters coming in, and we just said rule of cool. Pick which models you like, even the look of, and if you like them, you're going to enjoy them, and you're going to want to learn more about them. So yeah, rule of cool always is one of the key things when you're thinking about a team.
It comes back to Josh's thing about branding as well, doesn't it? Because you can if you get invested in a team for whatever reason, if you are more invested in it from a narrative point of view, you'll have more fun whether you get the results or not.
Yeah, I agree.
And I've got one last email here, and we're back over this side of the Atlantic, but further south. So we've got our first Portuguese coach.
Hey!
So a huge shout out to Nuno for sending in about a recommendation for a special ball, very similar to what you kind of mentioned, Chris, with your funny little snotling ball, if you remember it.
Yep.
But it's the special ball is a large egg. Every time it bounces, including kickoff, roll a d6 on a 4+. The egg hatches into a kobold. Think of a dragon-like dog.
Familiar.
With like stats. Yeah. Once the egg is hatched, the kobold must be prone to catch the ball. Otherwise, it bounces as a thrown player.
So so the kobold hatches, and inside the egg is the ball.
It's the dog. Yeah, you got.
The dog is the ball.
The dog is the ball.
Oh, the kobold is the ball.
The kobold is the ball. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
In essence, you can block and blitz the kobold. If it's prone, you can pick it up as the ball. At the end of every turn for both teams, the kobold frantically tries to escape the pitch, standing up if possible, as it could be stunned or worse, and moving D6 in a direction determined by the scatter template. If the kobold would bump into a player of either team, it blocks said player, and they're using stopping stats, okay, on the kobold.
That's good.
So it's likely uphill with assists, as it's belonging to the opposition team. Oh, right. So basically, if it's your turn, and then you finish your turn, then the kobold stands up and then runs, and it's kind of almost like your additional player for that turn. So any injury just renders the kobold prone for the rest of the drive. Also, it should somehow be a penalty if the egg is hatched. So yeah, I thought that was quite an ingenious one. That'd be kind of crazy, wouldn't it?
I really like the idea of having a ball that you can't score with it until you hatch it.
Yeah.
Like I love this rule, but I think it would be really funny if you just if you only ever held it, it would never hatch. At some point, you have to drop it
Yes.
to
Or
crack it
throw
open to get the ball out
I-
to then score.
I think what you need to do is you need to declare a pass. You can't just put it down. You have to declare a pass because it has to break.
A ball that you can only score with if you throw it into the end zone.
That sounds really good.
That would
Yeah.
be great.
So there's some fantastic kind of emails, and there's quite a few in there which have just given lots of really nice praise for the episodes and podcasts. So thank you all. Please keep them coming in. We'd love to hear more about them.
Yeah, thank you everyone for getting in touch. We do genuinely love all of them. We haven't read every single one out today, but there's so many. Any email we get through, we do love your involvement, and sometimes we get them through, and we're like, oh, you know what, that's quite a good idea for a podcast. So, feel free to give us your ideas, your games, anything you think we could talk about. We love to hear from you. If you do want to get in touch, Mr. Scott Bryant, how is it that people do it?
Mr. Chris Coe, how people can get in touch with us is the usual, by now obligatory manner. So whether you want to know what software Tom Hovel recommends, what VPN provider is the best to guarantee online privacy, whether or not you want to find out where can you buy cigarettes for your kids in Nottingham, alternatively...
Right, no, sorry, stop. I don't
Oh, that's
my
the
kids
line,
to
is it?
smoke.
That's the line.
No. Carry on.
So yeah,
Scott.
drop us a note, whatever font you want, however you want to send it, by pigeon, by email, by handwritten stone tablet. Drop it to us. New Dice, please, all one word, or lowercase, uppercase, mixed case, whatever case. New Dice, please, at gmail.com. And Mr. Hovel, if people want to satisfy their cravings even more, whether they are Blood Bowl or otherwise related, how can they do that?
You mean other than your OnlyFans site, I assume?
Season tickets are still available.
Exactly.
Are
Anyway,
The NPD discount fix, if you like.
you could have told me that before I signed up. Come on.
yeah. Oh, I could. Yeah. Let's stop there. Yeah. So you can get us on the socials at New Dice Please on Instagram and on Blue Sky. We're also on Blood Bowl Live, where not only can you see us on the podcast, but we've actually got some really good league games currently being played. Can highly recommend if you're a fan of seeing elves getting smashed. There's a very interesting Elven Union versus Khorne game, which is very interesting and an amusing game if you're very anti-elf. Equally, there's a few other great games on there. So yes, so we've got that there. And as I've said before, please keep the emails and comments coming in.
Mr. Feeks, final word.
Proprioception.
What does it mean?
Awareness of the position of one's body. You sighed at me like it was going to be dirty. I've lured you in.
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Bryant. Thank you, Mr. Hovel. Thank you, Mr. Feeks. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We have been New Dice Please, and we'll see you next time.